This is Wellness Unlocked, your space for smart, honest conversations about what it really takes to feel your best.
We're your hosts, Sally and Maha, founders of a global wellness brand. And every single episode, we're going to bring you forward thinkers and innovators from the wellness world, those who can help you unpack the best in wellness tips.
If you're ready to upgrade your life, then you're in the right place.
Hey guys, it's Sal. I am doing a solo ep today and Ask Me Anything. So thank you so much for all of your questions. It was kind of hard to collate them all because there were so many. So what I've done is put them into little categories, I guess, and I want to answer as many as I can. And I like this format because sometimes on socials, it's too hard to explain an answer fully and give it context and give it the nuance it deserves. So thank you so much for your questions. All right, let's dive in. So what season of life are you in right now if you had to name it? I would call this, I know people say it's like the sandwich generation when you have an older parent and, you also have younger kids, but I would actually call it, I said to Maha, it's more like a toasty than a sandwich. It's very much like being a sandwich is not squashed. It's like you're very squashed in the middle, a little bit burnt around the edges is actually the season that I think I am very much in and Maha is also very much in. Older parents, younger kids, a lot of demands on you and you're sort of somehow in the middle. I do remind myself though that, the seasons, funnily enough, they do pass, and I see it now. Sometimes Annabelle, my eldest daughter is 14 and sometimes I'll look at her in the passenger seat and I'll literally do a double take. I'll be like, who the fuck is that? 1 minute ago she was 5 and suddenly now she's 14. So I do remind myself the seasons they pass and I, just enjoy the crispy bits of the toasty as best you can. Because on both sides, it's not kind of forever. What is one thing that people would be surprised to learn about you? Probably, I think maybe because I've been in the public eye for a while, people know most things. I'm very driven, very organized. Maybe I'm funny. Do you think I'm funnier than people know? Yeah, I like my most favorite thing is being in fits of laughter. Like that's actually one of, I think, life's greatest joys is just the funniest things that happen. Something happened the other day and I said to Maha, oh, this is up here in this year's highlights of funny. Like that's my favorite when I go home and I'll be like, oh my God, guys, the funniest thing happened. Yeah, which funny thing? It was so funny. It was funny. That's my favorite thing. What's one lesson that life keeps trying to teach you again and again and again? This is actually such a good question. I struggle with, I think it's a limiting belief that I have and I have worked on it for a while. I'm still working on it and I think life keeps trying to challenge me until I learn it. I have a belief that because I was sick and survived, that therefore I've used up all of my good luck and I'm not entitled to any more good luck because I used it all. And it's not true. In my head, I know it's not true, but in my heart of hearts, I kind of feel like it must be because I feel so fortunate. So I feel like life is always trying to teach me this lesson. Sometimes it shows me, gives me these lucky things that happen. And I think it's to show me that that's not true and thus to not, to believe, and to ask for the things that I want and not feel like I'm not allowed to or I'm not worthy or I'm not entitled to. So what are the 3 things that I do for my skincare that are non-negotiable? Collagen, obviously. I use the SWIISH Glow collagen. I add it into my coffee. It's flavorless. It's really easy for me to add in. On the outside, I do facials at Chakra Skin in Sydney. And then 3 nights a week, I use a red light face mask. It's so relaxing because I get into bed, put the red light face mask on. I use the Bond Charge one. And it is a really great way to help boost collagen rejuvenation in my skin. So whenever anybody asks me, which red light mask do you use? I always let them know. It's the Bond Charge one.
If you're loving these conversations, then you will love all of the SWIISH products. We have put so much heart and soul into these over the last decade.
I think the thing for us is always high performance formulation. So we do the very best ingredients because it is all about results backed by science. We don't do anything by half measure because we want you to feel the absolute best that you can feel. The transformation, once you feel it with SWIISH, you can't unfeel it. What is something that you are actively working on improving in yourself right now? Oh, my sleep, guys. I go to bed so late. Like so late. I got the Oura ring and every night it's like, oh, amazing. You went to sleep in about 4 seconds. P.S. Red zone. Not enough sleep. And every week it gives me the sleep debt. Oh, that's a big goal for next year. Not this year. It's too late now. All right. So they were kind of all the questions that were kind of like personal life journey-ish, etc. This is like the wellness health section that people want to know. What does your morning routine actually look like? It's actually very simple. I love watching people on socials with their like 20-step morning routine. Not me. Don't have it. Not realistic for me and the stage of life that I'm at. The two best things that I can hope for is that I'll get up and exercise. Realistically, that's really kind of the big goal in the morning because I've got 2 kids. I've got to get everyone dressed out to school and dropped off at the school gates at like 7:45. So there is no time for anything. If I can get up and exercise, that is literally my morning routine. I pack my gym clothes on the floor the night before or my walking clothes. I like to walk with someone if I'm walking, I'm doing cardio. So I'll have that organized. I also am very big on like being organized. So that does make my mornings easier. I don't make lunch boxes in the morning. I pre-make them usually 2 nights ahead. So I, have multiple lunch boxes. I'll often make breakfast pots. So like chia pots or yogurt granola bowls or whatever for the girls. So everything's kind of grab and go. I just am very organized. I already know what I'm going to wear. Like just very, as much as I can, streamlined. What is the one non-negotiable in your wellness routine? In terms of supplements, so I would split this into supplements and non-supplements. If it was for supplements, I would say our NAD booster, NRC and resveratrol is my ride or die. That is like being plugged in to a power socket. I feel freaking amazing. I feel better than I felt 10 years ago. Outside of supplements, I would say being social. That actually has a big impact on how I feel in terms of my wellness. I'm very much a social person and I recharge my batteries by being around people. That for me is very like satisfying and having like relationships is really satisfying for me. A while ago, you lost weight. How did you do it with such a busy life? Okay, so about 3 or 4 years ago, I didn't sort of intentionally set out to lose weight. I did lose weight. I lost about 22 kilos. I did not step foot inside the gym, but I started intentionally originally because I realized how I was struggling to keep up with the girls. I was avoiding really kind of a lot of active social stuff with them, like going to the park and running around and stuff, because I had lost my fitness and I wanted to get it back. And I preface this by also I want to say, like, if the person who asked this did go on and say that they're trying to lose weight and, what advice I had and stuff, and I would say, you are not the number on the scale. You are you and you are amazing. If you want to lose weight for your body and your health, you absolutely can, there's no reason why not. But be kind to yourself in that process. Like, it doesn't have to come with beating yourself up. The things that I did were I walked every day and I really was very consistent about it. And I do have an all or nothing personality. So I do find that very challenging to be measured and consistent. Like, I'm much more like, oh, I'm going to lose weight. I think I'll sign up for like 10 different things and I'll do them at 4 a.m. and I'm going to, like, I go all in. I'll buy a new outfit, etc., etc. Then obviously fall off the wagon a month or two later and then decide, I might start again fresh in spring or start in the new year or whatever. That's very much. And so this period of time, I was like, I know who I am and I'm going to go against the grain of who I am. I'm not allowed to buy anything, no sneakers, no leggings, no anything. I'm just going to every day go for a walk. I'm going to do 30 minutes. And as I got fitter, it was 45 and then it was 60. And I just built up my strength and took a meal replacement. So we make a meal replacement. I had that. I opted out of either a breakfast or a lunch with that. And I just checked in with myself. I was a lot more aware of how I was feeling. The weight came off kind of just slowly and gradually. I will link in the show notes back when this, a couple of years ago when I think people were asking me a lot, I wrote a blog post about it in quite a lot of detail. So I'll link it in the show notes. So if you want more information on that, that is all there for you. How do you reset when you've fallen completely off the wagon? So, firstly, it depends what you define as falling off the wagon. For me, falling off the wagon is when life feels off kilter, right? I feel like my house is a mess. I'm not eating well. I'm just like what I term life is running me. I'm not running life. I hate that feeling. So when that happens, the first thing I usually do is start really small. And usually it's like, why don't I start to feel good first? And so it's like, great, let me, for example, go to a sauna or have an afternoon where I'm at the beach, or just really first, just kind of go quiet and go inward and just get a bit of space back. And then usually what I like to do is sort my environment, because I work and function better in an organized space, in a tidy space, etc. So I like to do that. And then I start with usually how I nourish myself, like food first, then sleep, then social, and then exercise. So just kind of little bit by little bit. And through it all, I also just am a lot better at being kind to myself. The voice in my head is a lot kinder. It's like, hey, we've lost the balance. Let's try and roll it back in, but without the beating, you're useless, you're terrible. Tell that voice to fuck off. What is a wellness rule that you break all the time? Pepsi Max. Oh, it's so good. It's so bad. It's so bad for you. I know it's bad for you. It's so delicious. And I don't do drugs, so I can have 2 Pepsis a week. It's, but yeah. It's I need someone to make a yummy version, a healthy yummy version. What is your current obsession? So these questions, this section is mindset and productivity. I was actually shocked at how many of these questions you guys had. What's your current obsession when it comes to productivity or focus? So I'm very big now on time blocking. As somebody who's got a lot of things going on all at the same time, I was finding that I was doing a million things half and then coming back to them, and I was repeating. I'm opening the email, I'm opening the same email again. I start the email, I put the email down, I come back to the email, and I was like, fuck no, this is not efficient. So now it's time blocking. So before I come in the morning, I've already the night before time blocked what are the main things I want to do, and then I leave a patch of time that's admin/email. So I only open the email once. I open it once, I reply, or just constantly the back and forth was doing my head in. So that's been a big game changer. How do you stay motivated on the days you feel flat? It's just usually where I just tell myself, listen, we don't have time to feel flat. Habit keeps you going when motivation wanes. And I think that's the thing. It's you're not supposed to feel inspired and motivated and excited every single day. You sometimes just have to go through the motions. You sometimes just have to do it. And this is where you have to know the difference between when to listen to your body if you feel tired and need to rest, and when to ignore your mind. There are times when you have to ignore your mind. It's we're not motivated. We're not going to do anything. Yeah, we're not going to be fucking motivated every day. You still got to do the stuff. You still have to turn up. You still got to go to work. You still got to do the work. You know, just keep going. The motivation will come back. What is the one thing that you stopped doing that changed everything? I think I stopped being a people pleaser. I'm not sure when, but I definitely stopped. Definitely. That was a thing. I wanted, I think growing up, that was a thing. I wanted to make sure that you were happy and you were pleased. And I think along the way, as I grew up and I evolved, I was like, oh, there's no amount that you can give people. It's limitless for how much they might need for you to please them. And at what cost, It's I don't have to be a people pleaser. I don't have to do any harm, but don't need to be a people pleaser. And that's, I think, a big shift. I think that's something that women, we really find hard. It's we must be nice and we must be a people pleaser. You actually, you don't have to be a people pleaser. You can be nice. You can be kind. It's not your job to make everyone's life amazing. How do you handle comparison in a social media driven business? I think I don't really care. Maybe because I was in TV long before really socials was kind of around. When I went into TV, I think we only just had Facebook. And back then Facebook was a friendly place where people wrote where they were going and they checked in at locations and stuff. And I think the social media comparison thing really kind of ramped up by the time Instagram came around. But I was already older then. So I was already, I think, a bit more sure of myself. I think the other thing too is I know it's not real. So I think that's important. It's I see things and I'm like, oh, it's a load of shit. I know this person. I know the shit that they're posting. This is fucking not real. This is such fucking bullshit, So I think that really helps. What is one truth about yourself that you have resisted for years? So my friend Sarah, one of my besties, has this quote, and I think it nails it. And she says, your best quality is also your worst quality. And it's very true. And one of my best qualities is that I work really hard. One of my worst qualities is that I can very much lean into being a workaholic. And the reason that that's bad is because it's probably because I'm so desperate to prove something to myself, to the voice in my head. And so I have that awareness that I have that quality now. And so I really try and manage it and be aware of it because it obviously impacts other people around me. It impacts my health. So yeah, awareness is everything, but that's definitely a quality that I now know I have and I really try and monitor. Questions about being an entrepreneur. How do you navigate self-doubt in business? I think the self-doubt comes, I feel like in the beginning there was way less self-doubt because you didn't know what was at stake. You didn't know what you didn't know. So in the beginning it's oh my God, I can just do anything. And as time goes on, there's more at stake. There's more at risk. The self-doubt can creep in. I think I just remind myself, mostly I look back because I feel so inspired by baby us. I look at Maha and I when we started the business and I'm like, oh my God, those baby girls with no experience did so much and had way less self-doubt. And so I'm I tap back into that. And then I'm also Maha will often say fuck it, what's the worst thing that will happen? And I also, I think the other thing too is the more we do, the more my muscle, I'm very risky. I like risk. It's very thrilling for me. I want to know how far I can go. And I also have this saying, hand on heart, I did all I could. And so I never want anything to finish without saying, hand on heart, I did all I could. I think if you put in 80%, you'll get 80%. But if you put in 100%, you'll get 1,000 back because most people stop at the last 20. They cannot be bothered, most people. And the last 20 is where the payoff and the magic happens. So that's why I keep going. What is something you absolutely cannot pretend to like? People who have a failing business who then tell other people how to run a business. Oh my God, that fucking makes me crazy. You know, because they'll get online and they're like, blah, 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 blah. Here's all my advice. And it's like, no, 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 you literally told me you're going bankrupt. Don't give anyone advice. No. That riles me up. Okay. How do you juggle motherhood and running a global business? Guys, I try not to juggle. I blend. I don't feel bad about working because, you know, as Marcus says, it's not like you're at the casino getting drunk playing the pokies. Correct. I'm at work. So, it's like the girls are a bit older now. So each season I've lent into whatever I've needed. You know, when they were younger, it was like fitting into like whatever routine they're in. Now they're a teeny bit older. The routines that matter are like school drop off, school pick up, family dinner. And then I just do my work. Then once they've gone to bed, 8:30, 9 o'clock, I'll do another solid 4 hours plus. But that's the only way that I know how to have this and have that. I also really notice now how much they absorb and how proud they are of Maha and I and Marcus and what we've built, and how they'll say to me, oh my God, like, you know, my friend's mum from school, she buys SWIISH, and I saw her at the car line and she told me her skin is amazing, and tell your mum I use the collagen. And I see how proud they are, and like they'll go into the stores and they'll see the product and they're very in awe. And I really love that we've created that. And like they're very, you know, they're like, oh, you guys are cool role models. I was like, oh, say again now. I'll let Maha know. So that's actually really nice. All right. This is last 2 questions. What is one thing that you are irrationally passionate about? Okay, you know when you go for a walk, right, and you see the letter boxes and then the people have the sign that says no junk mail? Like, I don't understand. What other joy is there in life if not for the fucking Aldi catalogue? And the catalogue with like, what do you mean no junk mail? How are you getting your thrills in life? We had one of those at my house. I ripped that thing off so fast. I love junk mail. Like, I love it. All right. What is your toxic trait? Okay. Probably like I bookmark thousands and thousands and thousands of recipes. I make none. I also bookmark, honestly, millions of makeup hacks, millions of them. I've got like, honestly, pages and pages, like how to do like the bronzer and how to do the, I use none. I never refer to them again. I just bookmark. It's really bad. All right. If you have a question that I didn't answer, message me and we'll do it in the next ep of Ask Me Anything. Thanks so much, you guys. It's so fun. As always, you'll find any extra information in the show notes. All right. Love you guys.
If you enjoyed this episode, then make sure you subscribe, like, download, share, all the things.
All of the things. And of course, everything you need to know is in the show notes. If you need any more information, don't hesitate to find us at SWIISH.com. And as always, all the information provided is general information and not medical advice.